Hello, hello.
I think that's more centered.
Does this shirt make me look fat?
No.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
It's just like a little bit giving like anime pick me girl. But it's hot though.
The way you looked.
You made a face. You made a face like that was a bad thing. And
Well,
I'm
I
like,
feel like I just hear pick me
but
girl.
like a little bit, it does look a little bit give lesbian.
Oh, God.
But we're open minded over here.
I didn't mean the oh God in like a oh God way, but just like a, of course I would give lesbian.
But like hot.
But hot lesbian. Like if you think I'm hot. 12,000 likes. Instantly.
Infinity likes. 12,000 follow requests.
That's so funny.
Okay.
Are we gonna start?
Let's actually get into the meat and potatoes of what we're doing today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this show. How are we gonna fucking introduce it?
Okay, that was a good attempt.
Well, I got nervous. Should we both say like big in a small town? Should we say like I'm Nevada and I'm Daniel and this is Big in a Small Town podcast?
Let's try that. Can you please start episode 1?
Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to the show. My name is Nevada Gibson.
I'm Daniel Black.
And this is Big in a Small Town podcast. Welcome to the show. We are doing a podcast.
Yeah, this is kind of a project that we've been working on for the past, I would say at least a month, maybe 2 months, that we've kept a secret.
By the time you're hearing it, it will have been months.
Oh yeah, by the time you hear it, we're kind of in the back stages of production at the moment. And what you're hearing is the start of greatness.
It's the start of something new.
And I would apologize, but I'm never going to apologize when I'm here with you.
No apology necessary.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't even accept an apology if you had one.
Good, because I love to roast people and then say nothing after.
It's terrifying when he does this in real life.
One of my favorite hobbies is just walking up to men and terrorizing them.
It's a sight to see. But also, what are we doing here today? We obviously, so again, my name's Nevada. If you're a new listener to us, if you're seeing us on TikTok, if you're finding us from Instagram, we started this podcast. This is our episode 1. It's about being big in a small town. We both live here in Santa Maria, California.
Period. Honestly, and I used to be the biggest hater of Santa Maria. I was like, I have to move to out of Santa Maria, move to Los Angeles, move on with life, get out of here, get to a big place and do big gay things. And then one day I found myself moving back to Santa Maria. That day happened far sooner than anyone would have ever dreamed of or thought of. But then I got here and I thought to myself, this is the best place on earth.
It's
I changed my mind and now I am the biggest lover of not only Santa Maria, but honestly every small town across the world, especially small towns by the beach.
Oh my God, yes.
Wow.
Don't forget the small towns that smell like shit. There's something nostalgic about it. There's something about it that no other town has. That's sickening.
That's the fertilizer.
It's the fertilizer. It's the broccoli.
If you're eating strawberries right now, you're eating strawberries from Santa Maria.
Oh my God. Absolutely.
That I can guarantee. Check the packages of the strawberries that you eat, regardless of what country you're in. It will say Santa Maria.
Santa Maria fool.
One time I was in Prague and I was desperate for a fruit, and guess what they had?
Santa Maria
strawberries from Santa Maria. And I said, I guess I just can't leave this place.
There's no escaping it somehow. One time, like, I feel like sometimes people are like, if I say Santa Maria, they're like, oh, isn't that like a seasoning? I'm like, yeah, Santa Maria style barbecue.
Yeah. It's like a way to cook tri-tip.
What part of the cow is a tri-tip? No idea. Did I grow up eating it? Yes, I did.
So I think when talking about being big in a small town, the first step is to look in the mirror for each of us and recognize how big we truly are. But like not in a big way, in a skinny way.
5'6", 145 pounds.
Oh, okay, we're doing that. 5'5", 140 pounds, single, 29, absolutely delicious.
Both verse. Just putting that out there.
I just choked. That was good. I'm not turning red at all.
If you're watching the video portion of this, you're blessed enough to be able to see our faces. Hopefully we're not like too awkward. We're just like loosening up a little bit.
No, I think we're just trying to get in touch with our hearts and in what is going to be the future of this. Which honestly, there's no real way to get to know us. Like, I think I'm gonna tell a story, a brief story, and then I'm gonna get us kickstarted on our game that we're gonna play to kickstart every episode.
Yes.
And I think when you meet Nevada and I, there's really no way to dip your toes in. It's honestly kind of like a tsunami that hits you in the face, and people are like, "Whoa, you're weird." And then they turn back around and they say, "Actually, I'm obsessed. You don't understand." So we're out and about. We're at a small little alley bar in San Luis Obispo called Sidecar. And we're at a jazz night. And honestly, I have never seen a jazz band perform live ever in my life. But Nevada was like, "I am obsessed. I love it. Whatever." And honestly, I was getting down with it. So we go down, we dance. Of course, we see a fellow baddie, and we're in the process of recruiting every baddie on the Central Coast, but also just in life. So obviously, baddies are watching this. Baddies are here in the room. They're with us. Their spirit is among us. But we found a baddie. We recruited him. We were dancing. We came up to him, and we're like, "Hey, want to hang out with us for the night?" And he was like, "Sure." And then we were like, "Oh yeah, I'm Daniel. This is Nevada." We basically introduced this man, sprung him off the street from this bar. We ended up spending like the entire night hanging out with this guy. And one of the first things that he said was, "You guys are really weird."
Why would he say that?
What he really meant was, "You guys are really iconic."
I think that's what he meant.
And in that process of us just throwing our personality at him, he did spend the whole evening with us.
At one point we were like, I was like, "Why are you following us if we're weird?" And he's like, "'Cause you guys are cool."
Yeah, he's like, "No, because you guys are actually like really cool and entertaining and funny." And we're like, "Oh, I think I found myself a fan."
He was obsessed.
It's fan behavior.
It's fan behavior.
So in honor of jumping into things, we're gonna play a sick little game called "Is it sick in the head or is it gay?"
Is it gay or is it sick in the head?
That's the question that we're really trying to answer. And
we do this a lot, like in life when things are just happening. We'll look at each other and be like, "That was gay," or we'll be like, "Is it sick in the head if I want to text my ex right now?" It's probably
sick in the head.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so we text each other this. We're like, I'll be like, "Would it be sick in the head if the guy who told me never forget about me gave me his business card? Would it be sick in the head if I burned it and sent him a picture of it?"
A little
sick in the head.
A little sick in the head. It's also a little gay.
It's also a little gay. It's a little bit of passion.
Frightening.
It's a little scary too.
It's definitely sickness. At the end of the day,
there's
it's
something to be questioned about that. But in this game, we like to play "Is it gay or sick in the head?" And I've drafted some questions and topics that Nevada has never seen or heard because I made them the other day, and I'm ready to share them. And you're just gonna kind of understand the dynamic of how this fun little thing can work.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, Nevada, Don't be shy. Just answer with your heart.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay. I shuffled the cards, so there's no order to this.
Okay.
Okay, so card number 1. Gay or sick in the head. When straight men hit on Nevada, but only buy Daniel drinks. Is that gay or sick in the head, and why?
Oh my God. Okay, here's the thing. This one I feel like it's a little bit of both. Let me explain. This has happened so many fucking times, and I'm not surprised you brought it up, and I feel like it's a flex for Daniel and it's a dig at me, because why the fuck are these men buying Daniel a drink when they're trying to quote unquote hit on me? Nevada. Fuck you guys. First off, you know who you are. Do I drop the names? There's a guy from Paso Robles.
She's getting heated right now.
He did that, and I remember the night. It was on Daniel's birthday, so I respect. You can buy Daniel a drink on his birthday.
It was 4 drinks.
You can buy Daniel 4 drinks and me none. Actually, that pisses me off. Okay, anyways, and then at the end of the night, he's like, Nevada, I want to take you out on a date. I want to get to know you. I was drunk as fuck. I was like, the fuck? Why would you want to get to know me? Because you've been buying Daniel drinks all night. That is gay. So I feel like for me, this situation in particular is sick in the head.
Sick in the head, you guys.
I think it's sick in the head. Would you agree?
So I do think it touches on a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And this is something that we have touched on many times in our interactions with people on the Central Coast. One, we're realizing that people are definitely more open-minded than we thought growing up in a small conservative town, which you would be very surprised. You introduce two gay icons. Wait, no, we could both be gay icons. 2 gay icons.
2 gay icons.
People start to get a little bit confused upstairs. And so in a way, there is a touch of sexual fluidity that goes into that, and it is a little gay for that. But I think the predominant underlying theme of it is the sickness. Yeah. Because there's a sprinkle of gay in there that everybody can feel.
Everyone sees it.
Everyone's like,
it's
whoa.
Palpable.
That's
when you're seeing the way these men look down at Daniel, because Daniel's a little shorter. He's a short king.
You should see the way they're like, let me take care of my little baby prince.
Oh my God, they're obsessed with him.
And so my favorite question to ask is this your first time having gay thoughts?
Oh.
And what actually?
They usually are confused by the question because they're like, wait, no one's asked me this before. And then they're like, yes or yes. It's usually their first time having gay thoughts.
1000%. But
sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not.
Sometimes
and they're truly 100%. Oh yeah, sometimes it's not. And then other times they're truly 100% sick in the head, because why would you logically be trying to date someone and then hitting on their friend or buying them drinks or whatever that means? That's a sickness. What are you getting at? What kind of sick manipulation tactic is that?
It's sick. That's why it's sick in the head.
That's why it's sick in the head. Okay. Number 2. A man attending a Chapel Roan concert.
That's gay.
That's gay.
So gay.
Okay, that's gay.
No explanation necessary.
Okay, this one is simple, but it's important because I've been wondering this for a long time.
Oh God.
Harry Styles.
Just Harry Styles?
Just Harry Styles.
Gay or sick in the head? I think honestly he's sick in the head. He's always given I don't know, there's something in his pupils that give me.
So this question for me comes from the Watermelon Sugar High music video.
Oh, I've never seen that.
And I've watched it and I'm just I'm not really, it just makes me think gay or sick in the head.
I'm going to have to watch that because I've never seen it. Maybe I'd have maybe I would think it's gay. Would I? Would I have said
But
gay?
this is your interpretation. So you can think whatever you want to think.
Yeah, I think he's sick in the head.
Okay.
He also dates so many people. Which, like...
And that's a sickness.
And that's a sickness.
Taylor Swift.
It takes one to know one, me. La, la, la.
I think I'm sick in other ways.
I think you're a pervert.
I think I'm...
Just kidding. I just had to say that because it sounded funny. It just felt right in the moment.
You know...
As I'm play footsies with him.
It's okay. Oh, this is a great question.
Okay.
Men who say they like poppers and women. Is that gay or sick in the head? It's a good question. Original thoughts.
I feel like that's gay.
Wow.
I would say that's gay because honestly, it's probably coming from a gay man if they love women. If you love women, you're probably a gay man. Because if you're a straight man, you usually probably hate a woman. Not gonna lie. In certain ways, this is like facts.
Wow.
Huh.
Well, I think I knew that this game would bring out some hot, controversial opinions. And that it might piss some people off. But what's a little bit of rage bait?
Yeah. Get raged.
Did I maybe design this question with a little bit of rage bait in mind? Yeah.
Was it intentionally structured to trigger the fuck out of people?
Maybe.
Possibly. Potentially.
Is that the game that I like to play in most aspects of life? Possibly.
If you put Daniel Black, I would be like, sick in the head.
She doesn't even think. She actually thought about Harry Styles and everybody else. Damn. Well, you know.
You're more sick in the head than you are gay.
That's
true.
Hold up.
Think about it.
Okay, well, I was born that way. I was born both gay and sick in the head.
You knew
Actually,
you were sick in the head before you knew you were gay.
Yeah.
Clocked him.
I did. The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. I'm actually not mad. I'm just like, wow. I do identify with that.
You took a good look in the mirror.
I did identify as sick in the head before I identified as gay.
So true.
And that was easy to identify. It was probably like 3rd grade. I was like, yep, it's me. I'm sick in the head, but I'm not going to tell anyone. So I was like closeted sick in the head for a while. Until one day I was like, no, I think people know. Which they do know. And I used to post crazier Instagram stories, but
I always really believed you were straight. Like, I never, like, doubted you.
That's why I'm such a good manipulator.
And what's so crazy is, like, people would ask me, they'd be like, is Daniel gay? And I'd be like, no, he dated a girl.
And that's on building a cult.
And I thought you had sex, too.
Never did
with a girl.
Never did I ever say that.
I feel like, I don't know.
Unless I lied about it.
I feel like you lied about it.
Unless I was gaslighting people left and right.
Oh my God, were you to like make them believe you're straight without like even?
I don't remember ever saying that, but I mean, then again, is that what trauma blocking is?
Maybe. Also, I don't have the best memory, but
that's true.
I defer.
Okay, let's do one more.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this was actually based off of personal experience. A man. Okay, this is just. But it's just a scenario that could happen to anybody.
Okay.
Okay, so you're at the gym. Yeah, this is like definitely not about anybody in Santa Maria at all.
No one.
Nobody. So a man.
What gym?
So you're at the gym.
What gym?
That I can't say.
Okay.
So.
I want to ask.
Trying to out everybody.
No, I know.
So. A man, you're at a gym.
Planet Fitness.
And a man won't let you wipe down the gym equipment. So you're like, oh, let me wipe it down. He's like, no.
Like he's going to use
yeah,
the gym equipment before you're done with it? Or as you're walking away?
As you're like just walking away and he's like sliding in, you're like trying to wipe it down. He's like, oh, no. So he like will not let you wipe down the gym equipment. And you're like, please let me wipe it down. And you've used it. and it's like sweaty. So then he immediately just like lays down in your sweat. It's the hamstring curl. So you lay face first. You're sliding into it.
Like your breath is on.
Like you're laying on top of it. It's like a pool and you're diving head first. It's a slip and slide. And you're going right onto that.
And your breath is like on the like part.
Yeah, you're face like, down. Yeah.
Breathing on it. I would definitely say that is gay.
Yeah. Why?
I think it's gay. Well, like I could see it being sick in the head because like you're nasty, but I see it being more so gay because he is wanting to soak a little bit in your sweat. And that's a little like, how else is he gonna get your sweat on him unless you're having sex then in this moment from the gym equipment?
Oh, that went deeper than I would have thought.
Like he would never feel your sweat on him unless you guys were like one, dancing in a club together or at like a rave or something, or if you were
okay, that's true.
Or the gym. It's very sexual and it's very gay.
And that's gay. So
first segment of Gay or Sick in the Head.
First segment.
Period. There's
definitely going to be a lot more to come of that.
Let us know what you thought of our Gay or Sick in the Head segment. What if you guys have scenarios that are gay or sick in the head? Let us know.
Please slide into our DMs. Let us know and send it privately so then we can select your scenarios, your comments, your suggestions, and then read them during one of these reveals.
We'll read them in the podcast, so it'll be a little interactive segment if you guys would like. We'll have a submission link in the bio. Okay. For our next portion, we're going to talk a little bit about what is big in a small town. What does being big in a small town mean? I will say I thought of this idea for the podcast. Me and Daniel, okay, if you know me, Nevada G, you may have known of my previous podcast, Mid-20s Podcast. I started that with a friend in 2018, shortly after the Call Her Daddy podcast came out. Mm-hmm. This was like when podcasting was blowing up before 2018, but like for women, I feel like it was blowing up after the Call Her Daddy podcast. And I was like, I'm in on this. Me and my friend started a podcast, Mid-20s. It went really well. We did about like 20 something episodes. I hosted it with 2 different co-hosts. I love podcasting. I love to yap. I love to share about life. And I've gotten requests since that's ended in like 2020. People have asked me throughout the years, when's the podcast coming back? Are you ever going to do another podcast? Just things about the podcast. And the honest answer is I've always wanted to do another podcast. And people have told me, Nevada, you could totally do a podcast by yourself, which totally true. I could. I actually tried doing Mid-20s. Mm-hmm. I filmed like probably 3 episodes with different guests that I never released because it didn't feel right. Like it did something about it. I'm just like, I want to do it with a friend because I feel like when I always have the best chemistry with my besties. Yeah. And I like having that like consistent duo that can show up and tell stories and you guys get to know us. And we form this kind of relationship with the audience when it's 2 people. And I want to do the podcast because I want to help people. I've always been really into inspiring people. I've been into self-growth, personal growth. And I was thinking like, who the fuck can we do a podcast with? And I mean, I've thought of Daniel. I've always been scared too, to like not do it with friends, but me and the first co-host had a falling out, after season 1. So that's why we ended up having another podcast host on season 2. And then it made me kind of nervous to like start a different podcast because there's just things people are like, don't mix business and friendship. So I've always been a little bit wary of that. But I was like, you know what? Fuck the rules.
Period.
I thought of like what podcast name also, because I didn't want to do mid-20s anymore, because I'm 29 now. I was 28 when I thought of this idea, and it just clicked on me one day. I was like, big in a small town, and it made me think of the ways big in a, like, what does being big in a small town mean for me? I personally I went through a whole lot of stuff this year. A breakup, a career change, self-growth, identity shift, a weight loss journey, a lot of fucking shit. And it all kind of started with me making a decision to do something different with my life.
I think that was one of the biggest decisions Nevada's made. Period.
It was like a big decision to leave a relationship, to quit a stable job with a salary.
Yeah, period. So Nevada, recap just the sequence of events. What month did you go through the breakup? How much later did you then have to explain the whole breakup story to most of the people in your life? And then at what point did you quit your job, and what salary had you given up, and why was that salary important?
What started was in January 2025. I had this whole plan with my partner at the time, and then he made a decision that kind of like changed our lives. I'm not going to share about this breakup story now, so I'm going to keep it really brief, but we ended up parting ways in April, and officially in May. And then, so also for reference, January 2025, I paid off my debt, so I became debt free in January.
That was I would say that after graduating college, and that's where she has the debt from, right? Getting her undergrad degree in
film and television,
which is how she knows how to do all these amazing things we're doing right now. And then she worked hard, really hard, and didn't do a lot of social plans, kept herself on the grind. And then of January of this year, that was like, definitely being debt free is a huge accomplishment, especially for being in America with student loans, student debt, the way that it just swarms all of us. I think that that's a huge thing to do. So period.
Thank you. That was a big point of my journey. Then the breakup in May, then May, June, July, August. So 3 months later in August, I quit my 9-to-5 with like a 3-week notice.
Yep.
I was making over $80,000 my salary. So it was like kind of crazy because I also quit it to pursue content creation. Honestly, if I'm being 1000% honest, I quit my job so I can start posting online and also have the space to figure out what I'm going to do next. And okay, I shouldn't say like 1000% I wanted to do content creation. I thought I wanted to do content creation and like YouTube. I just knew that my 9-to-5 at a desk job was not it for me.
Period.
And I was like, okay, something needs to change. So I quit my job with no backup plan. I honestly, but at the 3-week that I put my resignation in, I had not been saving. Like I had an emergency fund, but I hadn't been like strategically saving up so I could quit my job. So to everybody, it basically sounded and seemed very irresponsible to be quitting a secure job, quote unquote, in this economy,
right,
to not have a plan for what I was doing next. But that's kind of where the big in a small town comes from, is like, I've never in my life done what people think I should do.
Period.
I've never done, I went to fucking film school, bro. While everybody like in school, I was in AP classes, I was in honors classes. I felt like the dumb one of my smart friends. Like I always felt very creative, but by society's standards and by the grades and stuff, I never felt like smart. Like I never passed the AP test. I took them. I never passed them. Daniel was over here passing. He went to medical school basically and got a PA.
Do you know what's crazy? So I went through medical school, graduated, passed my PA exam, now practice medicine, but I never passed a single AP test. I failed.
Really?
I failed all of them.
Really?
I had no college credits going into college. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, that makes me.
No, I failed them all.
Wait.
Yeah,
that makes me
and now
feel...
people are like, "You're so smart. You're so successful." Which, granted, I did graduate number 7, graduating class. Which, honestly, 7 is one of my lucky numbers. 27 was my number when I went into the exam room to take my exam for PA school.
Oh my God.
And 27 was also like one of the best years of my life when I ditched my like. Is it bad to say fugly ex? I'm sorry. Like. Okay, that's a story for another day. X stories.
We'll do our X stories on a different day. This is a little too much.
It's
for
way
the
too
first
much.
Podcast.
Like, yeah, we are already coming in strong. I just couldn't imagine coming in that strong. But I wanted to recap something really important that Nevada touched on, which is that something that is important to highlight is that when she's leaving this job, she had first like girl bossed for one of the first times in her life by getting multiple salary increases. I don't know what she started at, maybe 60K up to 85K a year, which was a huge accomplishment. She used this very vessel, this very vehicle to then accelerate her debt payoff to study film. Goes, pays off her degree in film, has a stable job. Most of her friends think she should stay there. Everybody in town thinks she shouldn't leave. And there's really only like a handful of people that are like, you know what? You can quit. You can do whatever you want. Me being one of them, of course. And
I think there's 3 people, literally, literally you, my friend Riss, and my dad.
Yeah.
And my mom was like supportive of it, but she was kind of like, meh.
And so I was like, oh no, you can very well do that. And part of the like, I think the like arc of this story is leaving behind the very vessel of security that allowed you to build that freedom and then leaving that behind and saying, you know what, I don't need to lean on you anymore. And I think that's the element that really captures the bravery of it, is it's like a little baby that you poured a lot into to build it, and you're like, look at all these things I've grown within it. You used it to such like a dramatic means, which dramatic in this economy is paying off your debt, period. And then you're like, now that I've done that, I've done a savings, actually I'm ready to leave this safety net behind. And you left it behind in the span of months because this just happened this year. So
it was like a breakup, like a total breakup. Like I was living with this person, and then I was living alone with my parents, and then I was going to work, and then I became kind of a manager in my position. And then I just realized this is not for me. And I had no idea what I was going to do next. I had some interest like content creation, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But I really just needed the space to figure it out. And I went against most people's recommendations. Do you have a savings? Are you sick in the head? Are you sure you're okay to do this?
Right.
Because people, since I had...
Is that sick in the head? That's a question one would very much so ask in this scenario.
Dude.
You're pursuing content creation. Are you maybe sick in the head?
People were like, are you okay? Like, you're going through a breakup. Like, are you well in your brain? I was like, yeah, with my eye twitching. Like, I'm literally fine. But the thing is like, I did feel really confident in my positioning to just leave. Like, I was like, you know what? I don't have debt. I'm not tied to any person, anyone, anything. This job doesn't own me, because I also had a sense of like responsibility to the job. Because I was like, okay, like, if I leave this job, like, are they going to be mad at me? Are they like, I literally was not, what is that, like Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome,
like,
where you fall in love with your captor. Okay,
it's like a very dramatic way to describe my relationship with my job, because it was not like that. It was a very positive working environment. I loved that job. But in a way, I had this like Stockholm syndrome of like, okay, I'm like trapped in this 9 to 5 because I feel like I owe this job something.
Yeah, like the guilt of what it provided you.
Yes.
And then feeling like you have to repay everything and everyone. I think it's also like people pleasing in the same token.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
People pleasing. So, yeah, that's a little bit about my story with the start. I'm like, I forget where I was going with this whole tangent, but essentially, starting big in a small town, we want to talk about going against the grain, things that inspire us, things that help you think bigger than the box that you were built in. We both grew up in a very small town, very conservative.
Yeah.
Lots of small minds. We both went to public school.
We went to the same public schools.
Grew up with the same
friends. We also grew up with the same friends, went to the same churches. And for me, I think being big in a small town, which is something Nevada and I were chatting about earlier this week, is she was like, yeah, I don't know when you decided to become bigger. She's like, I think it was when you realized that you could be.
Yes.
And that was something that really, I think, limited me for so many years, is growing up in a small town and like having that small town mentality for so much of my life, and not being exposed to big city things that may be so common to some people. Like, for instance, knowing a gay person. I did not meet a gay person until I was at least, well, okay, there was like one gay person at our school, but like being friends with a gay person or like knowing a gay person very well didn't happen for me until I was already well into college. So I'm already like, I went to college at 19. I'm already almost 20 years old at this point where I'm realizing that gay people exist.
Dude.
Okay. That's where we're at.
Did you know who Ellen DeGeneres was when you were young?
Yeah, I figured out who she was when I was like 13. I was like, oh. And then it didn't really click to me that she was lesbian until I was like in high school. And I was like, oh, that's the gag.
I remember when an adult showed me Ellen DeGeneres and they're like, she's a lesbian. Being gay is a sin.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
like my core memory of like learning what gay was.
We did definitely go to a church that said that being gay is a sin and that you're kind of going to burn for that. But, yeah, so thinking things like that and being exposed to that made me think, oh my gosh, like I could never be a gay person. Like that means that there's something so inherently wrong with me, that I'm such an evil person, that like that could never exist. And two, like also gay people don't exist. And the ones that did exist in the media were like drag dolls and drag queens and performers, and like loved Lady Gaga to their core, which I do love. Like I was more like a Kesha girl because I'm very messy. And then now, of course, I'm a Charlie XX girl because like... Duh.
Troy.
And really like what being in a small town did for me was it just made me not really realize that anything was possible. So once I identified that I was already different, that people weren't gonna maybe like who I was, and that I had to change and rebrand my whole identity while still being a part of this like sort of smaller community, and knowing that like everybody who I grew up with was exposed to the media that I grew up with, I thought for sure I would be discarded and thrown out like trash, because the way that people talked about gay people growing up here was literally like we were all horrible, disgusting people who were going to burn, and people didn't want to like be associated with them. They didn't want to be friends with them. And so it was like a very much hush thing, and we didn't really have any gay visibility here.
Yeah.
And so once I went to college, I was like, oh my God, I'm genuinely having gay thoughts. What do I do? And my first thing about being big was, I mean, it took me longer, but like around 23, I went and I studied abroad, which was one big thing. The first country I ever went to was Russia, for one.
Wait, what?
Yes, Russia was on my way to Prague in the Czech Republic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I was on the flight with Russian people, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing traveling for the first time by myself to Russia. Is this safe? Are they gonna hold me captive? Like, because the media at that time too.
Totally. You're like, I don't know.
The media literally at that time was like, Russia's full of communists and China and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know, but like, I'm going to Russia. And so I stopped in Russia, went to Prague, studied abroad for 4 months. And there I finally had the space to be like, you know what? This is what it is. And so I did that abroad, thinking I was going to come back to my college town where I was like doing swim club, and that all my college friends and all my hometown friends would be like, ew, like, what is going on with you? You're disgusting. And then I came back and I started being myself, and slowly but surely, I mean, some people it took 1 year, some people it took 5 years, but slowly but surely, people just finally decided to accept me for who I am. And the longer that I've accepted myself for who I am, the bigger I've become, the more I've been able to dream, and the more that other people are getting on board with it. Like, people already, like, I feel like always thought of me as like the sweet, cute guy in high school, whatever. But then, and people loved me in college, whatever. But then I feel like it was afterwards when like I really started to like bloom more and more and more. The more I became savage, gay, outspoken, even in conservative pockets. Like I now work as a healthcare provider at these very conservative places, and the more outward I am about who I am, the more people like love me for it.
It's like the more you be and accept yourself, the more
Yes.
the world has no choice but to see you and accept you because you accept yourself.
Exactly.
So they have like, and if they don't accept you, then they're like, they're in the wrong almost.
Exactly. So once I did that and I was ready for like anyone and everyone in my life to potentially cut me off and abandon me, and that was the consequence I kind of accepted, because that's that's what I was basically told growing up. That's how people acted here for a long time. That's their mentalities were like rejection, rejection, rejection. So once I overcame that and found out actually people won't reject me, I thought I can do anything. So when I went through medical school, graduated, and did accomplish that, along with so many other things in my life, I realized that like I can do anything that I want to do. And as I shared the stories and things that I was going through, including like being gay and where I'm from, and when I went to school in LA, they're all like, I've never heard of that. That's crazy. Like, what do you mean people live lives like that? You do live lives like that when you're from a small town. And there are small towns everywhere.
There are small towns everywhere. And I feel like our small town is not even as small as it can get.
No, trust me, it can get smaller.
There's smaller towns surrounding us.
Yeah. But it was that gave me the confidence to just stand up and be like, you know what, I can do whatever I want. I started being more outspoken. And then for me, the first time I really ever was introduced to a podcast was one of my classmates from PA school was like, Dan, I love the way that you describe things. Like, you are just so genuine and you just say things the way that they are. Like, and she's like, I hope you have a podcast one day. And at the moment I was just like, haha, when am I ever going to have a podcast? And then flash forward later, Nevada and I are now like sort of like in my head, people will say what they want, sort of like little rising stars in this small little town, going out, posting crazy things, like making funny little videos in our own like unique spirits and doing our own thing. And people are latching onto the two of us like
a power duo.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, that's what people say. Yeah.
We're like two peas in a pod. Like, we're always together when we go out. We're always together. And if I'm not with him, I'm like, I feel like I'm not myself.
Oh, it's kind of crazy. Like, people will come up to me who have like romantic interest in Nevada, or who have bought her drinks, or who have bought me drinks before. Like, some of these people who have just bought me drinks. I mean, that was all theoretical.
All hypothetical.
All super hypothetical. But people who have bought me drinks or offered them, you know, and then have later come up to me and be like, so where is she? And I'm like, who? Gaslighting them, of course. Who are you talking about? They're like, Nevada, you're always with her. Where is she? And I'm like,
oh my God.
Okay, that's my deep man voice, but they don't sound like
no,
that.
I never hear you do a voice like that. I was more creeped out by the voice.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, she's not here. And they're like, where is she? In the bathroom. So then, of course, I gaslight them and lie to them. And then before you know it, there she comes out of the bathroom, and they're like, I knew it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Also, along with that, when I remember one time I was in line at the Mark. The Mark, for those of you who are not in the area, the Mark, the Mark is like our local club. Okay, there's not many clubs.
Some call it club. Some call it home.
Some call it.
Some call it a way of being.
The Mark. We love the Mark. We started going to the Mark in the summer. The first time I went to the Mark was with.
The first time I went to the Mark was with you.
Okay, we had to bleep out the names. We can't name drop on the podcast.
You started it.
I know. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, I was thinking because he's like a close friend.
Oh.
Maybe we'll just cut this part out. Because the close friends, the characters, or unless, I don't know. We'll figure out in the edit what to do with that. What I was going to say is one time we were in the Mark and Daniel was in the restroom and I was outside of the restroom and this guy approaches us. We have to introduce this character because he is a recurring character. We'll call him Polo. So,
okay.
You know?
No, but introduce him to me.
Okay,
to us.
So Polo, the first time we met Polo, we were in the Mark and I see this hot guy and he is dancing and he is looking at Daniel.
Duh, I get it now.
He knows who I'm talking about now. You know who the fuck
Oh
I'm
my gosh. Yeah, the way he was eyeing me like
he was eyeing him
crazy. And the way that we met him actually was Nevada was like, that guy's like hard staring at you. And
he's eyeing him.
Trust me when I say I did not pay any mind to this man, nor do I pay mind to many men, or really any men at this point in my life. But there I am just in my zone staring at Frida Kahlo, which I love her, by the way. She's inspired so many things in my bones.
For those of you to paint a picture, there's in the main room of the Mark, there's a big Frida Kahlo painting, like in the middle of the wall.
She inspired a poem I wrote.
I love her.
To one of my situationships.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, you remember?
Yeah. Oh,
inspired by that painting.
Yeah.
From the Mark.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was good poetry, but and I look over and I'm like, who is that? And I was like, whoa. He was staring at me.
Yeah, he was. Okay.
And I was like, oh my god, he's staring at me, Nevada.
And I was like, you should talk to him. So Daniel like dances over to him and is like, I don't know what you say. What did you say to him?
I don't even know what I say.
He was like, let's just say he said, hey. And then Polo looks at him.
Right.
And he was kind of interested. He looked like he was interested and first started dancing with Daniel.
Oh, he did. And he kind of looked down and smirked. You know how he has that little face?
He has this little face.
He has this little like.
He realized that he was dancing with a man or something.
No, he had self-awareness in that moment.
Because then he snapped out of it and was like, whoa, I'm not gay.
Whoa, I'm under that spell. I'm under that good stuff, which I'm used to all the time these days.
He fell under the spell. There's this thing called the Daniel spell. He turns every straight man gay. Dude, I'm not even going to get into another side tangent story of the other night.
We could talk Oh
You
my God.
guys will get to know the spell that Daniel casts on these straight men. But in this instance, Daniel cast the spell. Polo was dancing with him for a second, and then he snapped out of the spell and was like, whoa, I'm not gay. And then Daniel was like,
I was like, then why are we looking? And he's like, no, I'm not trying to do anything. What are you trying to do? Like, I'm into your friend. And I was like,
oh,
I don't.
You didn't even say the button part. We didn't even say the button part. Didn't you tell him? I forgot.
Oh, the button part was the part that made me think, is he gay or sick in the head?
Okay, yes.
1000%. So he tells me I should loosen one more button up. And I'm like, wow. So in my head, I'm thinking, that's what I was thinking too. And so then in my head, I'm like, okay, there's literally no way that someone would, in their right of mind, say that to someone without the obvious, right? I don't even think this needs to be verbalized. And so of course I'm like, duh, we're like flirting. Let me loosen one button up for my baby. And so then I'm like, okay, now your turn. And so what does he do, Nevada?
He unbuttons one of his buttons on a shirt.
He did. And this is,
and I watched it all.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is a hot gay man on the Central Coast. That's crazy.
I was like, I've never seen one of these before.
I've never seen one of them.
I literally have never seen that.
And then he, was not gay all of a sudden. So then later that night, he came up to me and was like, can I buy you a drink? And I was like, I thought you were into my friend. He's like, no, I'm not gay. I'm into you. And I was like,
yeah.
No. And then he asked for my number, and I was like, no. And then he asked for my Instagram, and I was like, God damn, this is relentless. So I did give him my Instagram because we could always use a little more interaction on the gram. Why not?
I just think it's fun.
Who am I to oppose an Instagram follower?
What's a little bit of fun?
What's a little bit of FUN?
So then he circles back to me and he's like, whoa, bro, what are you trying to do here? And I was like, what am I trying to do here? First of all, I didn't even notice you were here until you were staring at me. Actually, I didn't even notice you staring at me. Nevada noticed and pointed it out to me. And then, I don't know, whoa, what am I trying to do here? You asked me to lower a button from my shirt. And then I said it back and you did the same thing. Is that like not gay 101?
Yeah, it's like you give a little, I give a little. It's a little dance. You're dancing. So that's the introduction of Polo. And originally I started the story because we were outside the bathroom in the Mark, and we were talking about how when we're together, people are like, where's the other one?
Yeah.
And then I was outside the bathroom of the Mark, and Polo comes up to me and he's like, hey, Nevada. And I was like, hey, Polo, how are you? He's like, good. Where's your friend? And I was like, Daniel? He was like, yeah, he makes me uncomfortable. And I was like, he makes you uncomfortable? And then literally Daniel comes walking up right at that moment and he's like, what the fuck did you say?
I walked up to him. What did I say?
Oh my God, what the fuck did you say? You said something so...
Oh, I walked up and I said, hey, Polo. And I was like, I hate you.
Oh, yeah! Like, hey, Polo, I hate you.
That's literally, but I didn't say it like that. I was like, oh my God, hey, Polo, I hate you.
It was scary. Like,
and the way this man is like 6 feet tall and I'm 5'5", and he literally took a step. He was like,
his face like was like kind of happy. And then there was no happiness left after Daniel.
He was genuinely terrified.
And you literally said that right after he just confided in me, saying, where's your friend? Low-key makes me uncomfortable. And then you come up and are like, I hate you. And I was like, no way did that just happen right now. This poor man. But honestly, he's pretty weird.
He's weird, but I love him.
He actually asked me out again yesterday on Facebook.
6 months later. No more. 8 months later.
He's like a recurring.
He's a recurring character.
He's
been part of the story for the past like 8 months.
He'll continue to be part of it too. So that's why we had to introduce him. And I finally told him, I said, hey, sorry, but I'm just not interested. And he said, okay, goodbye forever.
I love when he does that. He always comes back.
He always comes back. He said goodbye forever to me like 5 times.
No, we've already like blocked and unblocked him like 10 times.
He always refollows. He'll find a new platform to add us on.
And then like sometimes we meet up with him and we don't speak to him. We're like, ew, like look at him, I hate him. And then other times it's like, oh my God, we're like besties. Polo. And then we hug each other and we're, like he's like smiling, let me get you guys a drink. Like literally it's like, it's kind of sick.
He's one of those people where Daniel was like, is this your first time having gay thoughts?
Oh, I did ask him that.
And what did he say?
And he did say yes.
But I don't think it was his first time.
I don't, because he had those before.
He had them before.
He just didn't admit it before, and he got defensive, which I can understand when.
It's okay.
I can understand when it's your first time having gay thoughts. Like it's gonna be a little overwhelming.
It is.
It is overwhelming.
It's shocking. It shocks a lot of people. They're like, whoa.
And but that's what I do. And I don't know what it is about me, but literally, I always talk about this with Nevada because one of the things I want to do is like go on competitive reality TV and like do the hard competitive stuff like Survivor, Traders, whatever. And one thing I tell her is I'm like, my alliance is heavily going to rely upon a straight man that like low key, through whatever kind of weird dynamic, he develops some kind of crush on me. And it's like his first time. And yeah. I'm going to use that to my grave.
You're gonna, yeah.
Because it's my sprinkle power. Like, it's a secret power that I feel like no gay man really has that I've seen.
Never seen it. And I know a lot of gay men.
Like, okay, like the
claws. I've never seen the claws be dug into straight men like the claws that Daniel digs into them with just A little look.
It's not even words.
It's like an energy. It's captive. It captures them. It enraptures them.
It's fairy dust.
Because even if they're interested in me, somehow they still end up going for Daniel. And that is something that I feel like I need to work on to get my energy to be that encapsulating. Right?
I think it's just like,
because how do you do that?
It's
so
one of
magnetic
my
for them.
one of my superpowers is like having a little bit of that charm. And I don't, there are things that I'm good at. Like, for instance, I have that charm. I always talk about this with Nevada, but I'm like, I have like a little special fairy dust that I go and sprinkle around town, and people fall in love with me. They become obsessed with me. I can do heinous things. And people would be like, yeah, I love you. Like, I literally, so I did.
It'd literally be like that meme that's like, whenever a gay person walks into a room and says anything, you could walk in and be like, I killed someone. And everyone would be like, yes, mama.
Yeah, no, literally. So the brief story that I shared earlier, there was this one guy that was like, never forget about me. He gives me his business card. And so I like lit it on fire. I sent him a picture of it. And then I posted on my Instagram story about the business card. I may have even posted the partially burnt card on my close friends. And people were like, yes, like, this is so funny. Like, what did he do to you? And I was like, you guys, this is like really bad. Like, I'm probably ill. So I was telling them, like, you guys, like, I'm probably like ill. Like, I'm probably very unwell. And I'm like, am I not chaotic? Like, am I not a little bit out there? Like, am I not crazy? That was my big thing. I feared if I was crazy. And they were like, we love it. What do you mean?
They're here for it. We embrace Daniel for who he is because he accepts himself.
But when I burned that business card, I did mean it, but not in like the scary way, like in the like heat of the moment kind of way.
So, and sometimes you burn someone's shit not realizing that it could be taken as a threat.
I literally did not think of it as a threat at all, which probably, like, to outside perspective, like, maybe it sounds like he definitely took it as a threat, I think, because after that he blocked me.
Yeah. If an ex did that to me, I would block them.
Yeah.
And depending on how crazy they were, I might report them.
That was the first time I got blocked. That's the only time I've been blocked.
I've been blocked before.
Well, like, in a way that's like, yeah.
No, by someone you care about?
Yeah, like, if someone's blocked me, I haven't noticed.
Awful.
If anyone else blocked me, I'm sorry, it didn't affect me. I don't remember.
Blocked by someone you love.
Oh, yeah. Rip. That's okay, though.
It's okay. We all come and go. Because at the end of the day, we all die.
Right.
Okay, we won't go there.
Right.
That part.
Right. Currently eating.
So to wrap up our final words on what being big in a small town means to us is, before we transition on to our last segment.
Oh, period.
Is, I guess my final message wrapped up is, you have the power to do anything you want in your life. You can do anything you want. The world is unlimited. Sometimes we don't realize how unlimited the world is because we live in a little box, and sometimes that box can be our little small town. We both grew up in a small town. I grew up in a small town in a little box with all these beliefs and ideas. We want everyone to listen to us because that's the thing. We want you to open your minds up to new possibilities, new ways of thinking, new ways of dreaming big, because what my belief is, and I'll let Daniel share his belief, but my belief is that when we all live in alignment with ourselves and what we truly want and what our heart desires, it's only going to benefit the collective. Me doing what I'm here to do, quitting my job, going through a weight loss journey, going through a breakup, pursuing my passions, trying things out, not knowing exactly what I'm doing, but trying my best and figuring it out and never giving up. I know that by living in alignment with all these things in my life, that I am benefiting people, because if I'm not living in alignment, then I'm not happy and I'm not going to inspire anybody. No one's inspired by an unhappy person. Or maybe you are inspired by an unhappy person because you don't want to be that person. But I want to be the person that lives their life so authentically, no matter what other people think, that I can inspire you and others to live your life authentically like that. Because I feel like we all deserve to just have fun and be our best selves and live freely. But yeah, that's a little bit about big in a small town. Do you have any final words for that?
So I think the like inspirational overarching view for me of being big in a small town, and what I would think would be what I would want to inspire to someone, is that for me, I think being and growing outside of the place that you never thought you could reach, including like who you thought you could become or who you thought you could be, is the way that I started to find my peace and my happiness. And I think that the more that people can identify in their lives that they don't have to be stuck in something that isn't right for them, they can leave if something isn't meant for them, that you have the free will to step out of that relationship, to step out of that maybe career and start over again and do something you love, or just to follow your passions in life in general, and to honestly to be authentic and true to who you are is to be big in a world where people are trying to wear masks and cover up who they actually are. There's something to be said about just putting yourself out there and being like, yeah, that's what I am, take it or leave it. And that's something that I feel like I'm able to do really freely and really well on Instagram, for instance, where I'm not thinking like, oh, I have to perfectly edit this picture and it has to have the perfect lighting. Like, half my stuff is unedited. I don't even know how to edit. When I do, it comes out blurry. And when I post on my story, I'm not thinking and posing like, oh, this little cafe is going to look so cute if I angle it like this. I'm sitting at the cafe shop talking about how I burned a man's business card, because that's what I did last night. And let's just be real here. And so I think for me, this art of being big in a small town is like taking every small little idea that you have and taking that to the place where you can be happy and where you can feel like, you know what, like if I am, you know, in a relationship where I'm not being respected, or if I am like in a place where I'm not happy, or I don't like the town that I live in, or I don't like who I am, is that you have every right to break out of that and be the biggest self of yourself that you are, to take that happiness in your life into your own hands. And I think sometimes we forget that we have the power to choose our own destiny.
Oh, yes. Yes, papi. Free. Oh, couldn't have said it better myself.
Mama dice que sexy.
Hey, papi.
Oh, baby. Santa Maria, baby.
Santa Maria. Santa Maria fool. And our last, what are we doing? Oh, to end this episode 1 of Big in a Small Town podcast, we'd love to
did get me heated a little bit.
I know, I'm like kind of sweaty,
kind of hot right now, which like I was born that way, but
we're gonna need to work it out after this.
It's perfect.
We are gonna share some goals that we're working on. Me and Daniel, I love Daniel. Daniel's like literally my soulmates, because I have very few friends in my life where I'm able to like consistently grow. Like someone who challenges me to continuously grow, work on myself, and they're also working on themselves. Usually I'm the therapist friend, but when it comes to Daniel, we're therapists to each other.
That part.
We're life coaches to each other.
Honestly.
He works on his self, which I admire so much. He's always challenging himself to like be better. He's always asking me like, what do you think I can improve on? How do you think I can improve on my social media? What do you think I could do about finances? Like, he's always just challenging himself to be better in all aspects of his life. And I appreciate that, because he challenges me to think in that way too. And I just really appreciate you for who you are, and you're just one of my best friends, and I love you.
I appreciate you, and I love you too.
I'm so excited for this journey together.
I know. We're just dipping our toes into something so big. and something that's like often left so out in the dark. Like, I think small towns are like so often forgotten, and it's like people often feel like they can't do something or they can't be something or they can't achieve something just because of their circumstances. But honestly, I think that we're here to show everybody that you can be the best, like biggest version of yourself wherever you come from, wherever you are, wherever you want to be. You can always change where you're going. And I think sometimes when you're in a place, you just think you don't have those options, but you do have that capacity. And that's what we do too. That's what we do in our friendship. We're like, you know what? How can we grow outside of this realm that we live in? And I think one of the biggest things is that like we were, especially in Nevada, super struggling to find, how do you make content in a place where nobody makes content? How do you do social media when there's no other content creators around you? And so my big thing was like, oh, to be gay and to be big, I have to go to LA. And Nevada's big thing is like, oh, if I'm going to make content, I have to go to New York. But the truth is, like, while I do think that Nevada's going to do content in New York, the truth is that if you're really the big person that you are, you can do it regardless of the soil that surrounds you.
Regardless of where your feet are,
yeah,
you can like make it happen for yourself. And I think for a long time I didn't realize that. Like, I was in Santa Maria wishing I was in New York, wishing I was in Hawaii, wishing I was anywhere but here. And then eventually I realized, oh, I don't have to be in a certain place to do a certain thing. I can do what I want, like where I'm at. And really it's about owning that version of myself that is able to make my dreams come true wherever I am. Because what if I wasn't able to like move locations? What if I was like logistically, what if I had to stay here forever and that was just my fate? I would want to live my life to the fullest here. Right. And I decided, like, I'm going to be where my feet are, and I'm not going to wait anymore to start living my life. I'm not going to wait until I get to New York. I'm not going to wait until I quit my job. I'm not going to wait until this. I'm going to start living my life now. And that's what I started doing. And honestly, when I started doing that, I started living my life in alignment with my values. And living life in alignment with my values has been a game changer. And I've accomplished so much in a short amount of time by giving myself the chance and the opportunity to be authentic and take risks and chances on myself that I was afraid to before.
Exactly.
So any goals coming up for you?
Yeah, 1000%. So I have so many goals that I've really worked on. My goals really started blossoming when I went to Mexico for the first time, which is where I found out the place that I was when I found out I was a PA and I was going to become a medical professional was in Mexico, my first time in Mexico. And from then on, every time I've gone, I've just had the most magical, beautiful experiences, fallen in love, had beautiful, beautiful soul friendships that have come out of it, travel friendships. And it was the place where I realized that, like, I don't want to be trapped in a capitalistic society, always fighting for the next step, when I can live a life of freedom. And that's where I learned how I can be free. And so my goals since then have been to become fluent in Spanish, which is why I was speaking a little bit to Nevada, a little bit. Well, we do a little bit of Spanish fun back and forth. And that's one of them, to live a life of freedom, which for me is a debt repayment journey. I'm currently paying off $200,000 worth of debt. Let's go. I'm on my way. I'm less than 100 at this point, and so
that's incredible.
That's a huge milestone that I reached, and I'm still pushing forward towards it. Fitness is another big aspect. I've got a six-pack for the first time in my life last year, and it comes and it goes. Honestly, I don't know how to explain it. She just appears when she needs to.
And she makes guest appearances.
She does. She's like, hey, it's a photo shoot, period, we're here.
Hi.
And let's see, and then exploring and finding the happiness in the small moments, finding the joy of working hard, finding the joy in what I do and helping others, and then finding a love for a community that I originally thought had no love for me. That's been a really big thing. Oh,
that's so good. Tea.
Yeah.
Wow. Finding love for a community that you thought didn't have love for you. Damn.
So I love Santa Maria.
I love Santa
Even
Maria
though
too.
when I was a kid, it told me that it hated me. You know?
It made me want to leave and never come back.
That's what I did. And then I went to LA, and I was living in LA working night shift. Went to Mexico, and actually it was through many people that I met, but ultimately it was through meeting a doctor that I met in Mexico that showed me that life as a healthcare provider does not have to be restricting. It does not have to be limiting. You can live by the beach. You can chill and swim in the sand and live in the sun and live a life of like freedom and happiness. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And so I moved back home thinking that that would never happen. But now that's exactly what I'm finding.
You're able to like live life as you live instead of just like working, paying the bills.
Like for the next moment. I was someone always living for the future moment, living for the next moment. And now finally, I feel like one of the things that I was really working on is healing these horrible toxic attachments that I had with men, which I think any gay man can relate to, how things can be. And really stepping into that moment of embracing that moment and not dreaming for something to be different than it is. Like, I just started dreaming about Santa Maria. Like, I just started dreaming about what I can do now. And now I do love my day-to-day life. And people think, like, it's sort of a joke that we play. Like, we go around and we, like, especially Nevada, will, like, glamorize and fantasize local places. And it's, like, funny. But, like, sometimes I'm wondering, I'm like, is this a joke, though? Because it's funny and it's a joke. But, like, low-key, we kind of love it here.
No, I love romanticizing the basic ass things about my life.
Yeah.
Like the worker at the grocery store, my crush at the grocery store, my crush at the gym, my crush the mailman,
which never
my crush at the mark. My life revolves around my crushes. No, it doesn't.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. But I romanticize it. I romanticize everything in my life, including the pantry where me and Daniel found a pair of fake eyelashes.
Yeah, sitting on the table.
Just stuck on the table where my food was going to go.
And I was like, this is Santa Maria.
And I just left them there because part of me felt like I needed to see that.
I didn't need to see that. Like, I low-key, like, was like, we should document this moment.
It's a beautiful thing.
The only thing that was missing was like a banda and like a fiesta going on next door, but
it was giving like butterfly. But
it was beautiful. So Nevada, what are some of your goals? What are you expanding towards?
Okay. I'm going to keep this short, but what I'm challenging myself on right now is taking risks. I know.
Oh, wow.
I've taken risks before, but really pushing my boundaries when it comes to risk taking, putting myself out there, talking to people that I haven't before. I've been putting on singles mixers and different baddie meetup events, and it still takes courage every time I freaking leave the house to go out by myself,
right?
Approach hot people and talk to them and start conversations, and just not even necessarily if they're hot, like just talking to people in general who are literally a stranger on the street, and I come up to them and I'm like, hey, I'm Nevada, you should come to my event, you should da 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 da. But I've been meeting people that have led me to opportunities, and I just know that I'm headed in the right direction. And I've been saying it this year, and I'm going to say it again to you guys. The path reveals itself as you walk it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know where the path is taking you.
1000%.
And that's where I'm at right now. I'm not even on the path anymore. I'm about to like jump off the cliff.
Period.
And I just
Why use a parachute either?
Why use a parachute? I know there's a safety net.
That's honestly silly.
I have to believe that there's a net going to catch me.
Right.
And I know there is, but sometimes, even though it's still scary, you have to make that jump. So I'm on the brink of pushing myself into new uncomfortable zones of my life, with my business, with my finances, with my relationships, friendships, like everything. So I'm just pushing my boundaries and knowing that it'll all work out in the end, because everything has always worked out and I know that I'll figure it out.
1000%. And I think the important thing with taking a risk is just having the self-assurance and the confidence to throw everything out the window and say, you know what, if everything goes wrong, if no one loves me, if everyone rejects me, if whatever happens, like, at least I can say that I bet on myself.
Yes.
And that's one of the most important things, bet on yourself.
This is my chance to, like, bet on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing. And it's scary, but anything's fucking possible. So thank you so much for listening to episode 1 of Big in a Small Town podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm honestly, like, feeling so grateful that everybody's here, and also very sexy at the same time.
Oh, I'm horned up.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That was
I
out
love
of pocket.
that for you.
That was out of pocket.
I was just saying, like,
sometimes I think you're gonna go a place and then you don't, and I'm like, yeah.
I was just thinking about, like, how hot we are. And I never think it should be a crime to be hot. If anything, I think it's a crime to be jealous.
Oh, jealousy's a disease.
And it spreads like wildfire, especially around me. Anyways, that is how I feel. And that is part of what makes me big, is that I'm going to say the thing that nobody wants to say. And I will say it with my chest, and I will get canceled.
But it's okay. We learn from our mistakes.
We learn.
We learn from our choices.
We get canceled, and we bounce back even stronger. No, just kidding.
We're ready to belly flop. And make a splash.
No, but in all seriousness, thank you for joining us in this process of being big in whatever small circumstance that you may find yourself. And I think my, like, lasting words for episode 1 would be to take that small little pond that you live in and take the biggest stone in that small little pond that you can find and throw that rock into that pond and just say, you know what? Fuck it.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna make a big splash today, even if it's in this small little pond.
Make a big splash in your small pond. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Big in a Small Town podcast. Hope to see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye. Thank God.
Stay hot.
Thank God.
Stay big.
Forever and always.
Big as Alejandro.
Well, I mean, why not?